Right, hey guys, this is Lucy, back again with the videos. I am going to make a video on how to be open about your mental health. Also, I am filming this with the most budget film ever. Like, it's like 8 o'clock, it's completely dark outside. So I am using my tortoise's heat lamp. So if I start sweating in the middle, I've got heat stroke. So this video is on how to talk about your illness with other people, specifically mental illness, because I've realised, like, I talk about my mental illness a lot, making videos not necessarily about me but about mental illness in general, and like I recognise that most people don't do that, which is totally fair enough. I haven't talked about how to talk about your own illness because that's what I do anyway, and so I recognise that some people watching me and talking loads about my illness is probably very different to what you feel like. So yeah, this will be a video, hopefully helpful video, on how to talk about your own mental illness. So first off, just the basics. If you have literally told no one, none of your friends, obviously when you have a mental illness you get diagnosed with one, which is the proper way to do it. Get diagnosed if you think you have a mental illness, don't just diagnose yourself. Then your family will most likely know, or the school will most likely know that you're in. So first off the bat, will probably be telling your friends or other family members. Basically, it's a big step, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not the easiest thing to do because of the taboo that lies around mental illness and people not wanting to talk about it. But honestly, it will be such a relief to talk to people about it. It is so much easier having it out in the open. Just take a step, be brave, because even though some people might take it the wrong way, the benefit is huge of talking to people about it. Another way, like ways of approaching that, is I always used to, when I was at school, just sit and smile and act like everything was fine and just be happy and not even show in my face that I was feeling worse. But you can just sit and feel how you feel. No one's going to want to not be friends with you if you're sitting and feeling a bit sad one day. It's not going to change the world. People are so focused on their own lives that really you looking sad one day isn't going to change anything. It's not going to have this massive effect. And that's an easy way to approach it. If you look sad, your friend might ask you what's wrong, just tell them the truth, honestly. Don't keep trying to hide it, because you deserve to be able to tell the truth. It is a human right to not be discriminated against because of mental illness. So you deserve to be able to tell the truth. You deserve good health, and you deserve to feel free to talk about your own mental illness, because talking about it is a step forwards to recovery. Yeah, take it a step at a time. You don't have to rush into things. You don't have to suddenly tell everyone. If you've told a few people, it's worth telling them, you know, oh, I don't want you to say this to someone, like I don't want you to spread this around if that's how you feel. I remember at first when I was telling people, a little bit of it got spread, and that really affected me because I wasn't quite ready for everyone to know yet. And there'll be a time when you're more ready to be open about it, and it might be a while, but yeah, just let people know that you don't necessarily want to talk about it straight away if you don't. Another thing that will help with telling people about it is knowing how common it is. Most people will experience mental illness at some point in their life, and all people will know someone with mental illness. So really, the likelihood that someone will be shocked, horrified and appalled at the fact that you're depressed or you have anxiety or schizophrenia or obsessive compulsive disorder, they're not going to be. It's very unlikely that they will react in a negative way. If they do, that sucks, but not everyone will be like that, trust me. If a person is unhelpful, try and educate them about how you feel about your own mental illness. Know some facts about it, share your experience maybe, and that might educate that person enough to allow them to help other people. Because at first when I was telling people that I didn't feel well, it was a long time ago. I don't remember it that well, but it was relatively untalked about within school. It was like year 8 or something. I mean, I can totally understand why people were like, no, you don't have a mental illness, or they were upset about it or whatever, because we were only in year 8. But if you just educate them, then they can go on to help other people, they can go on to help you. Mental illness, half the problem can be solved just by talking about it. Also, don't feel pressure to tell anyone. I didn't really put that in, but it makes things easier, but you don't have to tell anyone. You can keep it between you, or you and your parents, or you and your therapist, whatever. It is useful to tell people because the burden of having to hide it to other people is lifted. It's a lot easier to tell people in terms of, oh, why aren't you at school so much? Why are you blah 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 blah. Also, when first starting to talk about it, avoid the bad bits of mental health awareness, things such as romanticism, where people see mental illness as beautiful, idealism, where people self-diagnose and pretend to have a mental illness because they think it will make them more beautiful or more cool or whatever. Don't understand that. Just keep away from that. Also keep away from the competitivism, which I haven't really ever talked about, but there is a little bit of competitivism within mental illness as to who has it worse. When you feel so isolated, you feel, especially with things like depression, you feel like you've got it the worst in the world because you've only experienced your own problems, you haven't experienced anyone else's problems. What does it matter whose is worst? What does it matter who wants to kill themselves the most? What does it matter how much self-harm you've been through? What does it matter if everyone's suffering? Everyone suffers in different ways, but the point is that they're suffering. The point is that it is affecting them. Not how much it's affecting them, but that it's affecting them. And anyone who goes through mental illness deserves help and support, and deserves to be able to talk about their mental illness without being judged, without being told, oh, I have it worse, without being told, oh, you don't have it that bad. Because to everyone that has mental illness, I think, personally, you wake up with it, you think about it during the day, you think about it when you're going to sleep. There's never been a day I haven't thought about depression since I was diagnosed with it. There's never been a day that I haven't thought probably 10 times, 20 times about it during a day. Everyone has it bad. Everyone feels like they're burdened with it. So avoid competitivism because that's just not very helpful. Also, another thing is, due to us being a social media generation, it can be a way of coping with mental illness to post about it publicly, and not in posting about awareness, but posting that you're not feeling good, and expecting people, or specific people, or just anyone, to check you're okay. I know it's hard with social media, especially when you're feeling everyone else, you can see all these pictures of everyone else having a good time and you're not having a good time, and you think, why don't I just post about it? Why don't I just let everyone know I'm not feeling okay? But what the fuck was that? I've got a ghost in my room. Posting about it won't make it go away. People won't, it sounds harsh, but people won't, most of the time, won't just check if you're okay after you've posted something about feeling bad, because people are really preoccupied with their own issues, their own lives. And if someone's seen you posting that you don't feel well, and they see it and they care for you, it doesn't mean that they'll reply. Sometimes people don't know how to reply to that kind of thing, which is fair enough. You can imagine if you're in their shoes. Not everyone knows how to handle mental illness. Fuck it, I don't know how to handle other people's problems all the time. I can try. You can't use your friends as therapists, that's what I'm trying to say. It's better to talk to someone who's a professional. Yeah, so that's basically it. Yeah, so in general, if you're someone who struggles with talking to people about mental illness because you're scared or worried that they're going to overreact or whatever, the only reason they'd overreact is most likely because they care. Like, they'd be upset because they want you to be okay. Emotions show people care a lot of the time. So if they do overreact, forgive them, because not everyone understands mental health, but with talking about it, people can. I think that's a pretty good way to end the video, so I'm going to end it there. And maybe I'll do more over Easter. Who knows? Probably won't be with a heat lamp again, because I am boiling now.